What's up, beautiful people? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria, and today is the first day of May. But with that, we are back at our tarot card TBRs for the month of May. Now, unlike last month, we are not going to be doing an April wrap-up in this video because after we did our tarot card TBR for April, I discovered the Magical Readathon by Book Roast. And I decided to scrap my TBR essentially and join for the Magical Readathon because it sounded like so much fun. So on Sunday we'll be doing a separate video, very Magical Readathon inspired. I'm super excited. I'm gonna have to get to filming that pretty soon. However, we are gonna still do a May TBR. I do have some ideas for the month of May, so obviously I will have a bit of a bias on the books I try to make fit the TBR, but we're gonna do our best to follow what the cards say and make sure that they match up. So with that in mind, I did want to give a quick update of where we are at with reading because I did finish quite a few books for the Magical Readathon, but I didn't finish some that I intended to. So I am currently 50% of the way through 3 separate books because I like to be chaotic with my reading. So currently we are 50% of the way through The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. We are 50% of the way through Wayward by, I was right the first time, Emilia Hart. And we are now 50% of the way through XOXO by Axie. And that one I literally started last night and basically just ran through it because it's an easy peasy lemon squeezy read. So we're there with that. So those will also be finished in the month of May just because we're already 50% of the way through. So we can talk about them at the end of the month as well. But with that, let's go ahead and grab our deck. We're gonna do a 5-card spread. The spread that we are doing today is called the horseshoe spread, which we might have already done, but that's fine. We can do, there's only so many ways to do a spread. So we're gonna do the horseshoe spread today and see what books we want to pick. And I did get 2 free months of Kindle Unlimited, so I'm using those up before I get rid of it again. So I'm going to grab my Kindle as well, so I have that option too, because I already pulled some books that I wanted to read for this month in there, so I want to have them on hand. So let's grab our Kindle, let's grab our tarot card deck, and let's get shuffling, baby. Okay, so our first card in our horseshoe spread is Past Influences, and the card that we pulled for our first card in here is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands says, where's our little booklet? Handy dandies. If you remember, this is a minor arcana, and the minor arcana are associated with elements. So the suit of wands is associated with the element of fire, representing passion, energy, willpower, and strength. So let's see what the King of Wands represents. Okay, so the king symbolizes long-term success as a leader. He has the same passion as the other card, but the maturity to thrive. long-term success as a leader. He has the same passion as the other cards of maturity to thrive. And this is under past influences. 5. I was thinking perhaps a good book to read for this would be A Natural History of Dragons, the memoir by Lady Trent, which is by the author Marie Brennan. And this book's summary says, all the world from Skirlin to the farthest reaches of Aragar knows Isabel Lady Trent to be the world's most preeminent dragon naturalist. She is the remarkable woman who brought the study of dragons out of the misty shadows of myth and misunderstanding into the clear light of modern science. But before she became the illustrious figure we know today, there was a bookish young woman whose passion for learning natural history and, yes, dragons defied the stifling conventions of her day. Here at last, in her own words, is the true story of a pioneering spirit who risked her reputation, her prospects, and her fragile flesh and bone to satisfy her scientific curiosity, of how she sought true love and happiness despite her lamentable eccentricities, and of her thrilling expedition to the perilous mountains of Wisteria, where she made the first of many historic discoveries that would change the world forever. So I thought this would fit the King of Wands well, because we see somebody who is a leader in their field, who's made big changes, but is mature and is now reflecting on their journey. So I thought that this would be a good pick for our King of Wands. Let's pull the next card. Next card is going to be present circumstances. And for this, and I want you to remember, you saw, I shuffled a lot, but somehow our next card is the Queen of Wands, which is our present circumstances, considering the horseshoe tarot card spread. So the Queen of Wands represents someone who is confident and focused. The charisma of the Queen inspires others to be better. Confident and focused inspires others to be better. Okay, I've got it. So for our Queen of Wands, I am going to choose A Treacherous Curse, the third book in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. I'm basically choosing this because I was thinking about the character of Veronica Speedwell and say she is confident and focused, and her charisma inspires others around her to do better or want to do better, specifically Stoker, and vice versa for Stoker as well. So I thought this would be a perfect fit for the Queen of Wands. Now, I will not read the synopsis of this one because it is in a series. So we're just picking up with Veronica and Stoker on their next mystery. Seems like we've got something that's a little more maybe Stoker heavy, backstory heavy in this one. Fingers crossed, because we got a lot of questions about him still yet to be answered as we're going to the third book. So I am excited to read that one, and that is, again, A Treacherous Curse, the Veronica Speedwell mystery series, number 3 by Deanna Raybourn. All right, card number 3. And that in our horseshoe spread is going to be unexpected issues. And again, I'm gonna pause here and say, you saw me shuffle. I shuffled multiple times. And yet, our third card for unexpected, literally unexpected issues is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, the lighting. There we are, there he is. So our Knight of Wands stands for adventure and enthusiasm. It encourages one to energetically go for it. I think I already know which one I am going to go for this one, and this one is one that I have this one is one. And this book is one that I have on my Kindle, and that is a little cozy fantasy read that we have. I picked it up on Kindle Unlimited. It is A Fellowship of Bakers and of Bakers and Magic by J. Penner. And the summary reads, a human, a dwarf, and an elk. I mean, it could also be a joke. But a human, a dwarf, and an elf walk into a bake-off. In the heart of Adenshire, where elfish enchantments and dwarven delights rule, Arletta Starstone, a human confectionist, works twice as hard, perfecting her unique blend of baking and apothecary herbs. So when an orc neighbor secretly enters her creations into the prestigious elven baking battle, Arletta faces the dilemma. Being magicless, her participation in the competition could draw more scowls than smiles. And if Arletta wants to prove her talent and establish her culinary reputation, this human will need more than just her pastry craft to sweeten the odds. While competing, she'll set off on a journey of mouth-watering pastries, self-discovery, heartwarming friendships, and romance, while questioning whether winning the baking battle is the true prize. Escape to a delightful, cozy fantasy where every twist is a treat and every turn a step closer to home. It sounds fun. And I think it really does work with that because she's kind of thrust into an adventure and her life changes, and that seems to embody the Knight of Wands. All right, let's move on. The next one in this spread is going to be the best course of action. And our number 4 card for the best course of action is the 8 of Cups. We're finally out of our Wands Arcana. So the 8 of Cups, I do believe, is water. I mean, it would stand to reason. In the Minor Arcana, yes. So the suit of cups is associated with the element of water, representing emotions, feelings, and relationships. Cups indicate what is happening in the heart rather than in the head. So the 8 of Cups symbolizes, the 8 of Cups suggests abandoning a disappointing situation. There may be material accumulations, but it is time to seek deeper goals. So abandoning a disappointing situation. I have 3 options that I'm considering. The first one is Accidental Magic by Iris Beaglehole. And this one is the first in a mystery series called the Myrtlewood Mystery Series. And it says that life's a struggle for Rosemary Thorne and her teen daughter Athena, but the regular troubles are turned upside down after Granny Thorne's mysterious death. So despite her cousin's sinister maneuverings, Rosemary returns to Myrtlewood and the sprawling, dilapidated Thorne Manor, but there's more to the old house than meets the eye, as Rosemary and Athena soon find out in a whirlwind of magic, adventure, mystical creatures, and endless cups of tea. So I think like that fits because they're obviously having a difficult situation. This other not so great situation comes up but prevents a chance for them to change their lives, and so they decide to make that decision. So I feel like that could work. Our next option in this is The House Witch by Delimhutch, and I've done the synopsis of this before, and I mean it is called The House Witch, but basically Finn is a house witch who ends up in the royal kitchens, and people don't realize that he's a house witch at first, but he can't keep it hidden, and he ends up helping a bunch of people in the castle, and obviously is the secret for why he was hiding his powers and things like that. So I'm wondering if he was escaping a situation that was no longer benefiting him. So I'm thinking this might fit that bill as well. And then the final one that I thought of was To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, which I got in Illumicrate, and this is by Molly Chong. And this one we did just recently read the synopsis of this book, but Yang Ring makes basically a decision of whether to take the second prince, Antony, up on his proposal for her to basically work as his assassin, and he'll make sure her family is protected. So, you know, she's looking for a way for her family to be safe under this Roman occupation, but whether or not making this decision is going to put her any better off, I don't know. But so I think this could also fit as well. We're gonna go with accidental magic, but we'll keep those other two on back burner in case accidental magic is not for me. All right, so let's get to our last card here so we can go ahead and wrap this up for the day. Last card in our 5-card spread, our horseshoe spread, is the outcome. So our 5th card is the outcome, and what we pulled for this is strength, which would be a major arcana. We haven't had a major arcana today, so let's see what strength means. So this is number 8 in the major arcana. So strength. The strength card shows a woman subduing a savage lion. Strength obviously represents strength, but a calm, patient, and efficient strength. It indicates a proper use of power, compassion, and persuasion. It indicates a proper use of power, compassion, and persuasion to achieve one's goals. The strength card is counter to the chariot in that the power of the individual is subtle. It represents quietly influencing others to accomplish one's goals rather than outwardly tackling the challenges. I think these are both a stretch. But I'm thinking either the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. So this is a series, I believe. No, it's not a series. I know it's kind of like a companion series, I think. But it says, just to give, a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. Again, I know what this card says, but I'm thinking like soft power. So she's a Victorian lady, so she's using her societal machinations to maneuver and figure things out to get what she wants and kind of stay under the radar. So I feel like that could fit with more of like a soft power vibe. And then I'm gonna put this one as like an option. To gaze upon wicked gods as a backup option for this TBR as well, because I think this could work because he's using an assassin, so he's not going with like brute force, even though it is kind of brute force, but since she's got like control of death, it'd be hard to identify. I don't know, I'm definitely stretching here. Stretching. I mean, the house witch could also fit into that one though. So these two are runner-ups. If I don't feel like the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels or Accidental Magic really fit our tarot card subjects, or I'm just really not vibing with them, these two will be our backups. Yeah, I feel good about that. So let's do a brief rundown here. Again, our first book is going to be A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, and that of course is by Mary Brennan, and that is going to be with our King of Wands. Next up we have the 3rd book in the Veronica Speedwell series, A Treacherous Curse, which is going to pair up with our Queen of Wands, which I feel very strongly about this one. I think that is a good pick. Really gives, like, I think Veronica really embodies this tarot card. Our next pick is the Knight of Wands, and for that one, going with A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by J. J. Pence, by J. Pence, where we have our character thrown into a magical bake-off and trying to go through this adventure. For our fourth card, which is our best course of action, that is going to be the Eight of Cups, and for that one we picked accidental magic. And for our last card, which was the strength card from the major arcana, we have gone ahead and picked the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. And so that's that. So that is our May TBR. Like I said, I do have some plans, some exciting things that I'm thinking of doing this month, including our first live show of sorts. I was thinking it'd be really fun to do a choose your own Regency adventure together. So I'm trying to figure out how that would work. I thought it would be really fun to do since Bridgerton is coming back in May, on May 16th. So I thought it would be fun to do something like that. And since they are dividing the season up, I have 2 of those type of books. So I thought it would be fun to do those as our first live shows. So I will let you know a little bit more information about that soon. Also, as I mentioned, I am going to be doing a magical... Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. We'll find out. I'm going to be doing a Magical Readathon wrap up here in... I'm going to be doing it like between now and Friday probably, and then get that posted on Sunday. So stay tuned for that because we are going to be doing a little bit of fun when it comes to those. But let's go ahead and wrap this up, kids. I hope that you had a wonderful reading month in the month of April. I am looking forward to May, looking forward to diving into some books as we hang out in our last, like month and a half of spring. I would love to hear what you're planning on reading in May, if you would be interested in checking out a live streaming where we choose my Regency romance adventure. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stick around for more bookish and nurse content, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Sunday and sometimes on Wednesdays. And in the meantime, I hope you read a good book. I hope you find some joy. And most importantly, I hope that you do something to make the world a better place. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!